I was at the very first BAC meeting, and that was at an automobile museum somewhere near the waterfront. I have no idea where it was, but it was really encouraging to see everyone there. And I passed this group along to our ABLE BRG, and now we're here. I was so excited to be a part of the first one. The venue was great. I actually took my wife and my son back there that same weekend to tour the facility. Something tells me I won't do that this time because I work here and no one wants to come to work on the weekend. So when Mark said I wanted to give this presentation, I'm not really sure about that. I was told to give this presentation because there is some value in learning what we're doing on the D&I front for VSP and how we can interact with the Business Advisory Council. So what I want to do this morning is just share what I do, introduce you to diversity at VSP and our structure, and that'll give us an idea of how we can play together nicely in the future. And I'm so glad Abel was able to make it here and have everyone here. It's great. I'm super excited about this for some reason because I was at the first meeting, I told them about it, now everyone's here. Jeez, just like that it happens, right? So as Mark said, my name is Vernon Dela Cruz. This is what we're going to talk about today. Obviously, we're going to talk about me because you always have to start off with talking about yourself. We're going to talk about D&I at VSP, and we're going to wrap it up with some of our accomplishments from 2015. This is important because it gives you a gauge of what we've done in this space and some examples of how we can help each other in the future. All right, so who am I? As you were told over and over again, my name is Vernon Dela Cruz. I am the University and Student Relations Manager for VSP Global. What that means is I build and maintain and engage relationships with all the colleges of optometry. So I travel a lot. I travel about 60% of the time. So I'm glad to be actually on campus to deliver this presentation and meet everyone here. Beyond that, I know everyone here wears a couple of different hats. I wear a couple of different hats. 25% of my role is dedicated to diversity and inclusion. So what that means is I oversee all of the strategic initiatives around D&I, and I manage 7 different business resource groups that we have here on campus. I'll share more about that later. But I've been here since 2008. I've been with VSP since 2008. I served as chair for the Young Professionals Business Resource Group for about 3.5 years. Did some really cool stuff there until I aged out, and I'm no longer allowed as part of that group. And then I was also a reporting specialist, so I specialized in doctor data and geospatial analytics and that. Any questions about that cool stuff? No? So let's get some key terms out of the way because I know diversity can mean different things to different organizations and different people. So diversity at VSP is a collection of perspectives and characteristics of people, processes, and functions. And what inclusion means here is that we're creating an environment where individuals who represent any and all dimensions of diversity are positioned to do their best work. The reason why their best work is in quotations is because best work can mean different things to different people. So it's one person's best work can't be the same as another. And our mission here at VSP is that we strive to ensure managing and leveraging diversity is a natural part of how we execute our business. This is our mission, and I know we have a long way to go. We're not perfect like a lot of organizations, but we're heading in the right direction. I don't really like to focus on the gaps in our organization. I like to focus on the accomplishments and what we've done. It really encourages other groups to participate and move this needle forward. Can you move a needle forward? Move the needle to the green, in the right direction. We all understand. So here's a snapshot of our structure. You'll see the business resource groups there. And then the BRG leadership, which is the chairs, which is going to be Mark and Janelle. And then we have an action committee. These are made up of managers all the way up to VPs. They're ultimately responsible for all of the strategic initiatives. And then we have myself as the facilitator. And then we have a steering committee at the very, very top. So we have 7 different business resource groups here on campus. We have our ABLE BRG, which is the reason why everyone is here today. And ABLE, does people know what ABLE stands for? Lisa Har, HR from VSP. What does ABLE stand for? No?
I'll let someone else.
You'll let someone else do it. Okay, that's what that stands for. Janelle, what does ABLE stand for?
Abilities beyond limited expectations.
That's a great acronym, right, Lisa?
It is.
I love it. So we have the ABLE BRG. We have our API, which is the Asian Pacific Islander. We have our Black Heritage Group, and this is unique because the chair from the Black Heritage Group is actually is located in Columbus, Ohio. But all of her members are here in Sacramento. She has some membership in Columbus, but it's a really cool way for people to get in that leadership position and work remotely with HQ employees. She's in a very, very good spot. I have a question already.
Where exactly is the Asian Pacific Islander office?
They're all here. Most of them are here at HQ. Then we have the Latino BRG. We have the LGBTA, which is the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender and advocates. We have our Veterans BRG. And of course, we have the Young Professionals BRG. And everyone focuses on their respective communities, but everyone has the same strategic initiatives. They all operate around 3 specific segments. So we focus on operations, recruit and retain, and ECPs. Of course, we are a vision company, so ECPs are eye care providers. That's one of our primary audiences. So under operations, we have our supplier diversity program to make sure our vendors are diverse. We have client and sales support. I'll go more into that in the business case. And we want to ensure that we have participation in the community to promote brand equity. For recruit and retain, we research best practices, of course, increased employee engagement, and we want to make sure we are reaching the audience externally so that way we can bring them into the fold of VSP and drink all of our Kool-Aid. And for our doctors, we have grants and scholarships available for the students. IDOC is a program at The Ohio State University, and that stands for Improving Diversity in Optometric Careers. So we support that program, we sponsor it. The College of Optometry invites very diverse pre-optometry students to come on campus and learn more about their program there. And the NOA partnership is significant. The NOA is the National Optometric Association. Their mission is to advance visual health in minority populations. So I was just in Chicago for their annual conference, and it was just a great crowd. And of course, cultural competency. We want to provide educational materials to our doctors so they have awareness and understanding of the demographics around them. But why? Still, I mean, why are we doing this? So, rapid growth of minorities in the U.S., that's a given. Multiple generations in the workforce. You have young professionals born in 1990 or 1995 working with baby boomers. How does that affect office dynamics? Increased buying power in emerging markets. We have to capitalize on that, obviously, because we're a business. Client requirements. RFP, which is request for proposal to bid and ask about diversity programs. A lot of the more sophisticated companies out there, like Coca-Cola, they'll actually build in diversity questions into their RFPs. So they want to know, out of all of the vendors who want to supply vision insurance to them, or whatever vendor they may be, they want to understand if they're playing in this space, and what are they doing in diversity. I don't want to skew your perspective. They're never going to choose a person or choose a vendor because they have a diversity program, but it is a component which they factor in their overall score. And the last example is the military and veterans and the USAA. The Veterans BRG hooked up with the USAA, and they added 1 million lives to our membership pool. That right there is just enough to support the diversity program here. I wanted to go into some of our 2015 accomplishments. This will give you examples of what we've done last year. So the API group partnered with a fraternity and sorority at UC Davis to put a case competition together. And what this case competition did, it allowed us to tap into the young minds at the university and ask them a very specific business case question. And what they did is they took this business case competition 3 whole rounds. So it took a month to actually go through this rotation, and then they presented their cases to the staff at the first couple of weeks, and at the very final round, myself and another VSP employee got to hear 4 different groups' business case proofs, and examples of why they're going to execute how they our question. It was a really, really great turnout. And it was so effective that actually one of our other groups here at VSP, they went and asked another question to that UC Davis group so that way they can get more information. It's just really great. We sponsored the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. This is really building the relationships with the Black heritage community here at Sacramento. What we've done here with the sponsorships is we've given them scholarship opportunities. The Health Leadership High School, this is in New Mexico in a high Hispanic community. This Health Leadership High School is in an area where it's not really that great, but they have this Health Leadership High School, which is a brick and mortar facility to teach students about pre-healthcare careers. But they've never had an optometry component. So what we've done is we've created a week-long curriculum for them to introduce them to optometry as a profession. And we've actually had our mobile clinics out there to show them and have a hands-on with the equipment experience and to do acute community events in the area. The Emerge Summit, we partnered with the Young Professional Group here in the Sacramento region. So all of those people are VSP employees. So we were able to connect them with the community and also partner with Metro Edge, which is the young professional community here in the Sacramento region. And Executive Insight, this is another young professional event where they take a lot of the industry leaders, so the CEOs, they put them in a room and they do a roundtable. That right there is our previous CEO, Rob Lynch. We got him on the ticket because of our partnership with Metro Edge. And finally, the Tyreek Evans basketball camp. This is part of our Adopt Chester initiatives in Pennsylvania. This basketball camp is really, really great. This is happening in a deprived area of the country. They have no access to eye health care. Not only are we able to partner with Tyreek Evans to put this basketball camp on, but we have our mobile clinics out there for the entire week. And then we give free eye exams and eyewear to the campers and their families. Well, hopefully that gave you a good overview of what we do here at VSP.